Hi YouTube! This is Robin with Weight Loss Apocalypse. This is a short clip from a very long session. The session is posted in the Patreon account that if you want to see the whole session, you're going to have to go into Patreon. So this is the first 10 minutes of this session. The session actually we cover impulsively doing the HCG protocol, impulsively doing dieting, impulsively going into anything. The amount of shame and anguish that goes into not loving your body and the fear that people have with their weight, but also the parallel with, the fear with food and the impulsivity going into food. It's very similar impulsive feeling. But anyway, so what this 10-minute section of our session is about is how our body image is very similar to our life image, and oftentimes body image becomes our life image. The idea is that your thinness will give you access to being able to pursue the life image that you believe makes living worth it. And so in this small 10, 12-minute clip of this mega session, this client and I are discussing how she's fantasized her role as a parent. And, her back history is that she grew up really in neglect with her parents. At least that was her perception. And that her parents didn't take care of her, didn't give her opportunities. She did end up experiencing terrible trauma at 11 years old, being molested by, I think it was her uncle. So anyway, how she coped was with a persona around, I'm going to do better. I'm going to be a better mom. So taking on the personality, that narcissism of superiority, was a really big part of how she coped and how she got through it, being really driven, wanting to make something of her life. But it was in such a degree that she only allowed herself perfectionism, extreme perfectionism. The only thing that was acceptable was betterment above beyond others. That superiority was her way of proving herself to herself that she wasn't sucky like she thought her parents were. She now has teenagers herself and is struggling to manage her, has wealth and success and her kids and her life, but she's still struggling with her thin supremacy, of which she at one point in her life also achieved. In the 1980s, she was a model in New York and was very thin. I think she was like 5'9" or 5'10" and 120 pounds, something like that. So very thin in her anorexia and superior in that. So she's always been chasing the euphoric superiority of that thinness, even though most of the time outside of that, she has not been that thin. It's just become the gold standard that she set for herself. So, all right. Enjoy this short clip. If you want to watch the whole session, you're going to have to join the private Patreon group, which I've got a link below. It's $5 a month. If you would like to work with me, I'm more than happy to do that. So go to my website. The link to my website's below. Fill in the information request form, send it in, and I should get to you within 24 hours. So, all right, enjoy. Oh, no worries. So anyway, so how you're relating to your body, is coming from that need to feel secure. And your security just so happens to be aligned with something kind of extreme. Your extreme reaction to your body, okay, so how you're responding to your body right now is an indication of how extreme your needs are. Right? You've catastrophized this body, right? Mm-hmm. What does that tell us about your ideal?
It's so weird. I mean, I totally know you're hitting the right buttons right now. And I knew listening to that other tape, mm-hmm. that whole thing about, working with her to get into the needs and all of that stuff, because I know, like, for me, at a drop of a hat, any little thing. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be this, it could be that. It doesn't matter what it is. But like as a victim, then I'm like, oh, you know what? I go eat and panic, or I eat because I'm pissed off, or I eat because I'm happy, or whatever it is. I feel it, like it's just like right there, and it's that.
Yeah, if you don't eat, you become extremely victimized. If you don't get to eat your food, you become an extreme victim. Poor me. So you get your food. Well, here we are getting your food. You're feeling relaxed and ease, and now you're a victim because of the body. So we're going to go and you catastrophize the victimization of the body. Right?
Yeah.
Because you've over-emotionalized two sides of it. You've made this catastrophic, which means thinnerness is that amazing, right? So you've not just distorted how bad the body you are in, but you've also distorted how good the thinner body is. I feel so much better when you're making it.
It's not true.
Well, it's not reality. Yeah, it's not reality. But your fantasy, you're treating as if that's reality. So there's that. And then you go on a diet, which you've also created this need for because it keeps you safe from how you've been eating, but you hate it when it comes to the moment you want that food. And so you change positions to being a victim of the diet, which was your rescuer. Yeah. And in the moment, you're like, fuck it. I want my food. I'm entitled. I work hard. I'm an amazing mom. I should be able to eat with my family. So you're catastrophizing the diet too, don't forget, and over-emotionalizing the need for food as if it is the most important thing in life. And then all the while, because you hold on to this idea that you need to be thin, are committed to going back on a diet, which makes your issues with food even bigger. You're just swinging back and forth. Which one are you now? Are you a victim of life, victim of the body, victim of the diet, victim of life, victim of the body, victim of your parents, victim of your history, victim of whatever it is?
Yeah.
So this victim position, I'm telling you, you're still, first of all, you're still victimized by the body. So that's this foundation of the work that we need to do together. That is by far. So the video you keep referencing to, her body image issues have been gone for about 4 months. So to where she really didn't give a shit. She was not anticipating ever doing the protocol again. And I kind of brought it out of nowhere. And she was just like, what? I don't even give a crap. Why would I do that? And so you're hearing her after we had done, and she absolutely struggles similarly in the victim position, and at the same time, her need for superiority, the need to be worshipped. She wanted the same thing. Yeah. In her success with her dad, managing her, even with her siblings, she was the one to come to the rescue, and she was super perfectionistic, judging people with their work ethic issues, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Super judgy McJudger pants in religion prior to our work together, I think. So anyway, so you're hearing her after she's kind of done the body image stuff, and we filtering out her life image stuff. What's left over is the life image stuff. It's not just body image, it's life image, life expectations, so it's the body image stuff. If you can't get beyond that, it's going to be really hard to even get to the life image stuff, partly because your body image has become your life image.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some, the residual stuff with how you're relating to people. We can't even get there. And all the while, if you're holding on to body image stuff, your issues with food are going to go up. So it's kind of hard to even start working on some of how you've related to food with life image stuff if you cannot get rid of the body image stuff.
Yeah.
So in order for you to get beyond the body image stuff, you have to make, this is like, there's no other way to do this. Thinnerness needs to be completely blacked out from existence. It's going to feel like lost for you because it feels like you're losing superiority. And so how do we do this? Well, you have to go into, is being inferior okay? So you have to really look at how you have avoided and judged inferiority to an extreme degree.
Yeah.
Right? Go into how you feel about inferiority. Or is it really something that you should be catastrophizing? What if you are inferior? What if that's really true and all of this is just facade and fake? It's just like it's like the curtains at Oz. Like you're the little person with the little person you're the one with the inferiority complex sitting behind massive curtains with your "this is Oz" behind the scenes.
Totally, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking, you're the big and powerful. I swear to God, I was just
Yeah, I am the big and powerful. That's you. What if that's the truth, though? What if you are inferior? What if you don't know what the hell you're doing? What if you're not the best parent? What if what you're doing is actually harming your kids and you don't even know it because you're over-attached? What if you're enabling them to be very weak and incapable?
Totally.
Maybe you're creating a codependency with you as their rescuer because you think that's what a good parent does. I mean, have you ever thought from a bigger position?
Yeah, no.
You know, look at this. What if you suck, really? I've actually come out to my kids, by the way, and said, I just want you to know I really don't know what I'm doing. All I'm doing is what I thought would be good for me. So I'm parenting you in a way that would work for me as a kid. And so in that, I'm being very selfish, and I don't even know it because I don't know what's best for you. I'm not in you. I don't know you. I know you from my position as a mom, but I don't know what your needs are. So if you don't tell me about it, I'm not going to be able to help you. And some of those needs that you think you need, I'm not going to help.
Yeah.
You know, so in the end, I suck as a mom. I really don't know what I'm doing. And I have no responsibility from here, you know. I've actually said that to where I'm like, I really don't know what I'm doing. So please forgive me now. At some point, you're going to look back and go, my mom didn't know and she sucked. And I'm going to tell you right now that you're correct. I don't know. And I'm sucking at that. But it's not my job to fill those voids. At some point, it's yours. You have to learn to fill those voids to be independent.
Yes. Absolutely.
Whether it's financial, emotional, social, whatever need it is, it's not my job, actually, to fill those needs. I can only do the best I can in reality. I only have so much money. I only have so much time. I only have so much attention I can provide because I have attention deficit disorder. You know, I have to manage my reality, and that's my reality. So at some point, you're going to have to accept who I am as an individual person, not as your codependent enabler. So being aware that you actually do suck is one of the best things you can actually be aware of. Because how many positions can we look at you from to realize that you're inferior? How many different ways are you inferior?
Infinite.
I know, it is infinite. There's also an infinite amount of positions to where you could say that you're sufficient.
Yeah.
But that's not the end-all be-all of superiority, right? Because if you were to tell the truth, you could actually admit that this whole time it's been fake anyways. You're doing the best you can,
Right.
But there's no guarantee.
That's enough. That's
Well,
enough. I mean, why does it have to be so much more?
Correct. You only know what you know until you know something different, and then you change, so you can't be judged by what you didn't know back then because there was no way for you to do anything different without the awareness of knowing different.
Yeah. Just like not judging your parents because they should have known.
Yeah, exactly, because they should know. Really? Talk about narcissism.
Yeah, no, I see it. I get it. I see that little monster, that little fucker.
Well, you have to go in and change it. No one can do that for you. You're the one who created that position. It's your creation. No one handed you that. You created it. However, your parents may have felt victimized by their parents. So you may have heard them talk about how their child sucked, how their childhood sucked.
Clearly, my mother. I'm like repeating my mother's words right out of her mouth.
Yeah. So you're no different than she is because you've taken the same position as her, not questioning the position, right? So when do you end the genealogy of this cycle of victimization? You know, who's going to end it?
Oh, believe me, I thought I did.
Because I'm working harder, because I'm coping, I'm compensating equally and oppositely to prove that I'm not as shitty as her. Anyway, so this is going to require some humility to be able to accept that you actually don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. I don't.
I know. It's kind of a cool feeling, right? So go into, is it really that terrible to be inferior? Like, what if the best you can do with what you're aware of is terrible? It's just sucky. It's totally terrible.
Yeah.
Clearly, you've got the financial thing set, but that's just tiny. That's a pinhole view of the world, right? So don't make that bigger than it really is. Because I think oftentimes when someone with this type of position has some success, they blow it out of proportion in terms of importance as well. Because they use it as proof. Oftentimes it's used as proof of success, right?
Well, for me, it's positioning because it's my way in the household. Because, because I'm the one that endures all the stress, and I'm the one that gets to make decisions. I'm the one that makes the financial decisions. Because
you're the one that earned that position because you've got proof that you're superior, that you're capable. I have proof. I'm going to do this. And so not considering the unintended consequences of that role, let's try this for a second. Do you have time to keep on going with this session? Because we're way over. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into the next hour. I have time for it.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever considered